Hey everybody, and welcome back to Investment Honey, where we talk about various crypto projects. Before we begin, as always, I'm not your financial advisor, and we never provide any investment advice on this channel. But with that being said, if you're new, thanks for joining us today. And the series, the channel, we're just glad to have you. And if you're somebody that's been continuing to support the series, watch the series, follow up, with it, and so forth, certainly appreciate your continued participation, and just the fact that you continue to have so many choices, here on YouTube, and yet you still come to this channel to go ahead and view our content. So certainly appreciate that. Now, if you are new, make sure to go back to day one just to go ahead and get the introductions out of the way, and see kind of how things are going to flow. But with that being said, we got some tabs open, here. So we're going to go ahead and do some review, and then we're going to head into discovery. So Random 9 is one I will admittedly say that I really wasn't sure about this one at the start. It didn't really look like much was going on, in regards to this particular chart. In fact, I had actually removed it, from my alerts because there just really wasn't anything going on. And when we first, noticed this one, the discovery was here on the 5th. And so you can see there was just retracement. I mean, it wasn't doing anything. It was just basically flatlining, so I said, forget it. And look, there's going to be tokens, they're going to do that. Some of these tokens, I've told you guys, you got to either, have conviction, about them or you don't, but I cover so many different tokens, on a daily basis that, if something's just wasting my time, I just go ahead and move on from it, so I wasn't keeping up with what was going on in the Telegram. But for you guys that are engaging with the content, you may have less going on in terms of what you're watching. So, and you're not responsible, for likely, keeping up a YouTube channel, where you're doing this kind of thing. So with that being said, I'm glad to say that this one did go ahead and eventually take off, so we're going to, go back. So ordinarily I'd go ahead and take a look at the alerts, but like I said, I cleared it out, so this was one, like I said, I moved on from. But you can see here our discovery, because I had to go back and search for it in the videos. I've already done over 30 days of videos on this series, so it was a little bit of a challenge to go back. I got to figure out a method for tracking some of this stuff, because I cover so many tokens. But with that being said, it was discovered here, on the 5th, and this is in the 4th, but it was the 5th because I checked on the video. And the pricing was under 0.004235, but again, this is basically the general area, okay? And again, just like I showed you here, where there was just a lot of retracement and it just kept going down, you can see that here, just retracement, and then all of a sudden it picks up, and then we get even more retracement, so it hit an even lower bottom, and then it starts to go bananas, okay? So a good looking chart, clearly discovered this one. I think according to the video, it was around, 400K, something in that area, which would coincide, with this price information here, or a little over 400K, but it wasn't that far over 400K. I think it was still under 425. So, but with that being said, we can see that, I mean, it's touched, 2 million just while we're sitting here, doing this video. And this wasn't even the peak. The peak is actually higher. It's more like 2.2, 2.3, million, from that 400K area. So again, another, case, where we're talking about the fact that you engage with this series, we're able to go ahead and try to find stuff early, simply using Dexscreener. And there have been example after example after example after example, in just 30 days, doing this series, that this is the platform to use. You don't have to rely on a Cole, you don't have to rely on an influencer. You just simply have to go ahead and use the filters to go through Dexscreener, to go ahead and filter out the noise and, find stuff that looks, like it has potential to move. And in this case, again, just like I started out saying, either you have conviction or you don't. And some of them you're going to have conviction in, and they're not going to do anything at all. And there are others where you may have some conviction and it's going to go ahead and do something. This was more of a slow cook. It took a while for this one to move, but it did move. As a matter of fact, I mean, we caught it the day after the launch, so, and basically if you had you watched this for 3 days, if you took a position and you watched for 3 days, you'd actually be in pretty, significant profit, depending on, what your entry level is and what you decide to go ahead and, put in. put into the token, so, but as always, they'll take a minute just to go and make that disclaimer. We don't ever encourage you to invest on this channel, but we know you're engaging with crypto related content, so you're likely going to do it anyway, but the disclaimer still has to be made. So that's why I make the disclaimer. But, either way, Random 9, I mean, it's an Elon oriented token, so the reality is, all it takes is a little bit of, people to go ahead and gather around, and engage in the fact that, hey, if Elon tweets about it, it's going to go nuts. Now, I don't think that he tweeted about it, but at the end of the day, it was still, related to Elon. A lot of the Elon, oriented tokens do tend to move, okay, at some point. But that's not a guarantee, but a lot of them typically do. So that's Random 9 for you. Again, I'm not tracking this one, but I am letting you know that if you were somebody that was copying my alerts at the time and you were keeping up with this one, congratulations to you. But again, highlighting here in the view that this was another token that we covered, some days ago that did, and has moved and has done well. All right, so we're going to close this one out. And we can see here, SOT, I kept calling this Scott. I thought about that. I was like, why am I calling it Scott? So, because I looked for it, because this is another one I stopped tracking, because it really wasn't doing much, so, but this is one that we caught this one. Where is it at? I mean, right now it's sitting at 366. We caught this one over 100K. So basically it's done a 2X, since the time that we caught it. Here, on the screenshot, you can see I went back to the video and I found where it was discovered. It was discovered basically at this price point, 0.002288. All right. And so we caught it. This one, I think it was the same day that they launched, so we caught it here, and it was either this, it was this day. It was this day, 24th or the 25th. But, either way, it has done, has moved, since then. So it took a bit longer, because this one you can see, as well. I mean, you can see the lower lows, you can see the retracement here, and you really had to have some conviction in this one, before this one started to move. And when it started to move, I mean, it really moved, so yeah, another example, of trying to go ahead and find a token before it does any kind of pump, whether, and I've said the pumps can be a 2X, it can be a 10X. Obviously, in the last token that we talked about, that was a 10X, as far as their pump is concerned. So, or not a 10X, not that one. That was more like a 5X. So what am I talking about? But either way, this one is SOT, so this one did go ahead. This one did move as well. And then Jenny is an interesting one, because I talked about this. This was one that I really caught at the end of yesterday's video. And I'm sorry I got that video out a little bit later than I wanted to, but either way, a great example, where, and the alerts are still active on this one, but I found this one at 134. And so I wanted it to alert me, when it dipped under 100K. It actually did go under 100K at some point, which was interesting. I didn't think it was going to, but I said, screw it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set the alert for 100K anyway. And so yeah, set that alert yesterday. And I actually took a position in this one, just with a little bit of money. And this one actually took off. I mean, it took off over 1 million yesterday. I took the screenshot, just as it was, starting to move. And I didn't have any inclination that it was going to go over 1 million, but it did. So this is the screenshot taken at 309. But you can see here on the chart, so this launched yesterday. And, somehow, our entry, my entry was somewhere around here, at 134. I mean, because I didn't get in, under the 100K, mark when it triggered. So my entry was a little bit higher. In fact, I think it was higher than 134, but either way, it was still in this area. Okay. And you can see that it pumped way up here. So over 1 million, on this one. And then, as I've said, many, many times, anytime you get, a pretty decent, any kind of pretty decent, buy candle, what's it going to do? It's going to come back down. And so it retraced, it really did come all the way back down to basically entry levels, from where I found it. Okay. And then, I continued to watch this one last night for a while. And then I basically thought it was done, but then you can see, and there's been interest, in it, throughout the day yesterday. So came back up, retracement here, came back. So I actually don't think this one is done yet. I think there's a possibility that it could still continue to move up. And you can see even while we're doing the video, I mean, it's still moving, you know, so yeah, for this one, you know, for a token that is literally, you know, less than 24 hours old, you know, there's been a lot of movement, a lot of interest, you know, in this particular token. I think at one point it even dropped, you know, under 100K in terms of the retracement, you know, so for it to be back up over 400,000, I mean, is really impressive, I think, personally, in regards to this token, you know, where people pretty much just dumped it and then it continued to fight. And those are the kind of tokens you want to see. I'm not really sure as to the future of this token, but I do like, you know, what I've seen in terms of, you know, just the rise, the fall, and then the continued movement on the chart. So, you know, but again, this was Jenny. This is one that we talked about yesterday. And again, what I pointed out to you just, you know, in the start of this video today, several examples, and there continues to be every week. There continues to be example after example after example of what can be achieved using the Dexscreener platform. All you have to do is, you know, is just filter out a lot of the noise. And what I show you every day in this ongoing series is how to get into Dexscreener, how to go ahead and set some filters, and then I just take you through my process. There's really no gatekeeping here. I'm just taking you through my process. And here's the reality. Sometimes you're going to be right. Sometimes you're not. But it gives you an opportunity, as we've seen multiple times throughout the series, that you can get in early and you can get in before the token pumps. Okay, so yeah, you know, I just wanted to go ahead and do what we always do, you know, here when we got some tokens to talk about, go through some review before we get into the discovery. So that's going to do it for Jenny. And if you're somebody, you know, copying alerts, I don't have a problem with that. Feel free to copy them. You know, but you know, before we go ahead and move into, you know, discovery, just want to tell you, you know, there's going to be times where you get this right. There's going to be times when you don't. But Dexscreener gives you a chance, you know, to get in before tokens are going to pump, you know. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and pause real quick, and then I'll be back and we'll get into some discovery. Okay, so for anybody that's, you know, watching this and you're thinking, you know, moving kind of fast, again, you have the opportunity to go ahead and go back in the video at any point in time just to, you know, rehear what I'm talking about. So like I said, I've said many times, there'll be times when I move a little bit faster, you know, in the video content, and there'll be times when I don't, you know, so, but I'm always aware of it. So first thing we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to go to our gear here. We're going to adjust the configuration. Actually, we don't have to because this is still open from yesterday. So I think I just reset it. But either way, we're going to go and click apply. So here we go. We got my information that I typically like to see, the age, the time frames, and the market cap. Now we're going to go into filters, and we are going to set some filters here. So let's just let's take a look at ETH. You know, so we haven't taken a look at ETH standalone, you know, for a little bit. So we'll do that. We're going to leave liquidity 1,000 as we always do. Market cap, we're going to go 50K. And since it's just one chain, we'll go out to 500K. All right. So, and then the pair age, you know, we'll go ahead and we'll look at, you know, anything that's been alive for at least 5 hours, you know, to 25 hours. Okay. And the 24-hour change, we're going to put that as 10 as our minimum value. All right, so we're going to click apply. Let's see what we got. So we're going to get two of these here that are, you know, that are not scams. So at least not at first glance. Anything that you got, you know, as I mentioned before, many times in regards, you know, to, you know, when you set the filters and then we get what it produces. If you get them, you know, with this box, you know, and a question mark, typically it means it's a scam. So, and in most cases, it typically is. You know, there might be some exceptions, but for the most part, we typically stay away from them. But, you know, as always, I open up, you know, some of these just so you can go ahead and see what I'm talking about. You know, so for this one, no socials, and that's usually an indicator, a good indicator, you know, that it's probably a scam. It's been open for 8 hours. I mean, a chart's not going to look like this, you know, after 8 hours, especially looking at the 5-minute right here. And then, you know, just nothing but buys, no sells, really. So this, you know, looks like a honeypot. And we saw one sell, but that's, again, that's not typical of a healthy chart or a legitimate chart. Okay, so we're going to close this one out. And then here, again, you know, this one's been alive for, what, 19 hours? And this is the chart on the 5-minute. No way that this is no way that this is legitimate, okay? And you only get, what, about 10 transactions? So again, definitely red flag here, as far as it being a scam. So I always point this stuff out, just because I don't know if you're going to be, if whoever's watching the content is new or if they've been with the channel or the series for a while, so always good to go ahead and cover, that stuff, just because it's all about staying safe out there. So, and, having been a teacher by trade, I tend to go ahead and, reinforce and reiterate concepts, because that's how you go ahead and you make it a natural part of your flow and how you're thinking, as well, especially as you're engaging crypto related content. So with these two, we're going to go ahead and open this up. Pivot AI is actually one that, and I didn't realize I was going to even pull that up here, but this is one that I've actually posted on the main channel. So if you're new or just somebody that just recently joined the series and you haven't heard me talk about Crimson's calls yet, that's the Telegram channel where I also make calls. So I do stuff, here on YouTube. I've got an X channel, and I've also got the Crimson's calls Telegram channel. So with that being said, just be aware that there's going to be calls that the stuff I talk about, here on YouTube, there's going to be stuff that I post, that I don't necessarily have a lot of information about in regards to what I'm putting on the X channel. So it's more like, your gambles and your higher risk, type of tokens, or for the daily degen out there. And, then there's stuff that I have a bit more information on. And sometimes I'll put stuff, on X where I have some more information, but that's not typical. But stuff that I have a bit more information on, I'll go and I'll put it on the main channel. So yeah, this is one that I posted super early this morning. I don't know, I think it was like after 1 a.m. or something like that. So, but yeah, and I heard that the team, was pretty decent, that they had, some success in the past, so I said, all right, I'll go and I'll put this on my community's radar, and I did. And I think I did that at 227K. I think it went up to somewhere around 400K. This is over 300K right here. And, so it's moved, but it's also retraced. And I said last night, early this morning, that it was likely that it could retrace, especially when I made the post. So do I anticipate this one, will head back up again? I don't know. I think that, you want to pay attention to decent teams. And so the team, behind this one, I've heard is pretty decent. They've got some ads running. You can see right here. They've also got a boost, going. There seems to be some engagement, in the channel, so, we can certainly go ahead and take a look at what's going on in the channel. So I'll leave this one open, but just making you aware, this is one that was posted on the main channel last night. So actually right here, 219K is a bit better entry level than even where I posted, last night, of course. So, and here, alternative for Germany, I haven't looked at this one, so I have no idea what's going on with this one, but we'll leave it on the 15 minutes so that any other tab that we open will be open on the 15-minute. So we're going to go back here and we're going to adjust our filters a bit. So we're at 5 and 25. So we're going to move this to 25 and we'll go out to 120. Okay, so we're actually looking for, they're still newer tokens, but they're not like super duper fresh when we move out to that 120 hour area. Okay, so anything else we got here? We got a few more. Chain score. Okay, that's new and that's new. And okay, so there we go. So now let's see if these got a Telegram and see how the chart checks out. So chart looks okay. Telegram, as well. Quick scans. Remember that. All right, Telegram, good. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. Okay, so that looks okay. And this one, Telegram as well. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. Chart's a bit bottomed out, for me. Nothing going on here in terms of the 5 minute to 1 hour. So no buying activity in the last 5 minutes to an hour, maybe even longer than that. Okay, so this is one we definitely don't care about. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to 15 minutes, and there we go. So, all right, next thing we're gonna do, let's switch chains. Let's go to base, standalone. Okay, so we'll click save there, and okay, we're gonna do that. All right, so save it, and we're gonna go to 5 to 120 hours. See if we get anything legit. Okay, so we got some stuff here. So we never look at base standalone. So, but we're going to do that today. Cool, Pepe. All right, and we're just going to open them all up, just so that we can kind of just go through what looks legit and what may be concerning. Okay, so I think we looked at this one already. All right, so let's make sure that everything's good in terms of Telegram and chart. Looks okay here. Hackathon, we're still loading that one. I don't know why. All right, so the only thing I see right away is it's minus 54, and then we don't have a Telegram. So closing that one out. And here, no Telegram, closing that one out. And some of these are still waiting to load, no Telegram. It should ease my processor. Okay. This one, we got a Telegram. They got some kind of bot activity going on here in terms of fake volume or volume bot. Okay. So, but the chart does look okay. So we'll leave it. All right. And let's see what we got going on here. We got a Discord. I don't really care for those. So we're not going to go ahead and mess around with this one just because we can't access their Telegram because they don't have one. This one, key eyes. Let's see here. What's going on in 1 hour? This one looks okay. So we'll keep it. All right, and this one for we got a Telegram. Let's go a little bit out. Okay, this one the chart's just too bottomed out for me. All right, here let's see what we got going on. So this is Scout. We're in a bit of a downtrend, but we did get some buy pressure here. But clearly, this was yesterday. Okay, and we got nothing going on in the 5-minute 1 hour. So we're not going to touch that one either. This one, I don't even know how you say it. Super. Okay. So we can see chart looks okay. We've got a Telegram, we'll keep it. And this one is definitely bottomed out, so that's a no. And beeps, all right, no Telegram. Okay, so I think we're good now. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got eight tokens where we can talk about. So we're going to basically stay ETH oriented, and we'll see where we're at, when we're done. So we're going to go ahead and check out some channels. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. All right, so here we go. We got a portal, good. All right, so there we are. And we got just over 640 members. So we see we got some trending going on. Good to see. So we got Elon over here. And let's see here. What else? All right, so as far as buys are coming in, at the time that I'm doing the video, which is always good. All right, so let's see what we got going on in the pinned messages area. We got something going on with their X count, and we got SPY DeFi trending, as well. Okay, so the double trending. All right, so that's obviously positive. Okay, so I mean, this one looks like one that we definitely want to go ahead and set alerts for. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and set some alerts. We're at 269. The tab here is not really lining up, with what we're seeing over here in terms of just straight up numbers, so because sometimes we'll go and we'll see that 269, here in the tab, and that's what I mean by lining up. So we're going to have to rely on this, but we're going to go straight to market cap and the under. We're going to set both alerts on this one. So first of all, we're going to highlight the posted market cap where we found it. And for the under, we're going to go to 200K. Okay. All right, so there's that one. And then for the over, let's go ahead and let's post that posted market or the current market cap. And then for the over, our deviation is not going to be crazy, so we'll set it at 290 on this one. Okay. All right, so there we go. We'll see if those trigger. And then here for pivot, this is retraced a little bit more, but we're still going to go ahead and check out, their Telegram. So let's see here. I'm just going to go ahead and reopen the Telegram. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and we'll go through verification just so you can go ahead and see that process. All right, so here we are, in the channel, and again, I haven't seen anything concerning whatsoever, here in the channel. I mean, they got some rating going on. There's conversation, going on. We got buys that are coming in. The last one was at 11:30 according to this one, but it was somebody just increasing their position, as I mentioned before in another video, that you can see, here, when somebody's increasing a current position. So that's not a new holder. This one's not a new holder. Let's see here. This one is a new holder, and that was 11:26, still within my 10-minute buy window. So yeah, so you still have people that are eyeing this this particular token. I think even with the late night hours where I was absolutely thinking that there's going to be some level of retracement, you really didn't get that, in the really, dead hours, of the early morning and late evening, which I think is positive in regards to overall sentiment and resiliency, when it comes to, any kind of token, so even though, yeah, sure, we have some retracement going on currently, but you're going to have that. I mean, you're going to see buys and sells in any legitimate token, and I will say that, you know, cautiously that I believe this one, you know, to be somewhat legitimate. I haven't seen anything to give me any concerns in regards to this particular token. So not sure where the bottom will be in terms of the retracement, but, you know, do I anticipate that this one will probably head up at some point? Yeah, I think there's a high likelihood that it'll probably still, you know, go ahead and come back up, you know, after there are some sells on the chart, you know, so yeah, but, you know, as far as this token's concerned, I think there are good things going on here. They seem to be doing all the right things, you know, so, and it's a little slower, you know, than some of the other tokens, you know, but right now I think that as you see some retracement, you're going to go ahead and see people that have been waiting for an entry go ahead and come into this, and especially anybody that knows anything about the team behind this one. I think that, you know, there's some level of commitment and conviction and interest, you know, overall in regards to Pivot AI. So that's what I'm going to say in regards to that one. Okay, so here we go. And, you know, just like buy candles, when you know, especially in legitimate, you know, people that have a good feeling, you know, about a certain token, you get, you know, nice buy candles, you get retracement. You get a pretty decent sell candle, you're going to see what you'll see in your, you know, higher caliber or quality tokens, is you'll see buys start to go ahead and come back in off of these sell candles. So we'll go ahead and we'll set alerts, you know, on this one, since I didn't set any alerts yesterday for this one. Right now we're gonna call it at 197K, the posted market cap. All right, and then it goes over. Let's go ahead and let's set this at 225. All right, so there we go. And then for the under, let's see here. Let's go ahead and let's set it at 150. I don't know that it'll retrace that far, but we'll see. All right, it's not a big, you know, deviation, but like I said, I don't know that it will head, you know, down to the 150K area, but you never know. Okay, so we're gonna close this one out. Divine. Now let's take a look. So now I think. Let's see here. Is this a base one? No, this is ETH. Okay. All right. So we got a couple to go before we head into our base tokens. So here's what's concerning to me. I don't see anything here on the 5 minutes list, but we're going to go into the Telegram anyway and see what's going on. At least nothing's being reported there on the 5 minutes. So, all right. So just over 880 members here in this particular one, and we're sitting at 11:36 on my clock, you know, so yeah. So the last one was at 11:18, you know, so that's outside my buy window, you know, so, you know, staying true to my parameters in terms of, you know, what qualifies, you know, for a token I'm going to look at. This one it's at 11:18, it's 11:36 now on my clock, so I'm not going to go ahead and continue to follow up with this one. And you can see, again, nothing on the 5 minute. But if you're somebody that's thinking, you know what, hey, the chart looks pretty decent, and I'm not going to say that it doesn't. It does look pretty decent. But again, you still need buy pressure. And without buy pressure, what happens? People tend to go ahead and sell. So keep that in mind should this be one that you want to continue to follow. All right, so this one is ChainScore AI. Again, another one, nothing going on here in the 5 minute. We'll go into the Telegram anyway, and we'll check it out. But this is likely one that I'm not going to go ahead and mess with, just because what's being reported is there hasn't been a buy in 5 minutes. Now, if there's been a buy within 10 minutes, you know, that's a different story. So, because again, I've got a 10-minute window where I want to see a buy. So 11:37. All right, so this is at 27. You know, so there was nothing going on here at 27. The last buy was basically a half hour ago. So that, to me, in my personal opinion, is too long. It's too long. People are going to go ahead and sell when stales look, you know, when charts look stale. Okay, so. And what we can see is the start, you know, of a downtrend. You know, so do I think there's going to be more sells? I think that if within the next 20 to 30 minutes, and probably sooner than that, if we don't see buys, this is probably going to retrace further, because what happens? People start to get concerned. If there's no buy pressure, then guess what? Why are you holding the token? You know, so unless you just simply know that there's a catalyst coming, you've got some insider information or something like that. But, you know, with that being said, yeah, I don't see buy pressure returning to this one. You know, if they don't have some kind of catalyst to keep this going. And rating, even though they were doing some rating in there, that's not enough of a catalyst to introduce buy pressure, you know, to a chart. So that looks like this one. So here is our first base token. Again, we see nothing going on here in the 5 minutes. This is probably going to be one we're not going to, you know, stick with. You know, but again, if they got something in the last 10 minutes, that's a different story. So, all right, this was another one that's kind of Discord style, you know, in terms of when you enter their community. So, and here we go. I mean, we got some rating going on, you know, but let's see, anything in terms of buys. Let me see. Nope. So we got nothing. I mean, we're almost at 11:40 on my clock. And so yeah, nothing going on here. The last buy, or at least this buy, was at 11:17, but nothing going on in the last 10 minutes for me. So this is a no-go, for me as well. So, and again, this is all part of the process. And remember what I said, guys. If you don't see buys coming in, what are people going to do? They're going to start to get nervous and they're going to go ahead and leave the token. That's what's going on here. All right, so here we got Pepe 2.0. Again, we got the volume bot, nothing here in the last hour in terms of buys. And we got a retracement, here on the 5 minutes. So, and you can use this area, guys, when I'm talking about this, you can use this area to go ahead and make another assessment in regards to, is this something where I need to go and spend any kind of time, continuing to explore this token. So if we don't see anything, basically in the 11:20 area, yeah, so there's no buys, so for this one, I don't even need to go and check out the rest of it, even though the chart looks okay. You got fake volume going on, so there's no organic volume. You have no buy pressure, no organic buy pressure, nothing other than a bot going ahead and buying. So what do I think is going to happen in this one? I think there's going to be further retracement. People are going to go ahead and sell this one off. So we're going to move on to the next one. Let's see what's going on here. Again, we got nothing going on here in the 5 minute. So we'll check out the channel anyway, just for the course and duration of the video, or context of the video. And so we got 183 members. We got 3 people online. So this one's going back to 11:20, and we see no buy. So for the last, it looks like over a half hour since the last buy. So this is 11:4. No, you're talking 40 minutes, almost 40 minutes since the last buy. That's too long, guys. Too long, in terms of seeing intervals between buys, and that's the reason why you're seeing more sales taking place, because the chart is stale. All right, so we're going to close this one out. And here, looking at the buy transaction area, I mean, no volume bot, which is good to see. We got some kind of activity here in the 5 minute to 1 hour. All right, so we're going to go into the Telegram and see what's going on here. All right, and we're going to translate this to English. Okay, so last buy was 11:41. So obviously that's just a minute ago. Okay, so that's good to see. Another buy here. All right, good. If we get to a milli, I'll pay for the CMC and CG fast track. That's coming from the owner. This is about an hour ago. So I don't see any evidence, of rating, and nothing trending going on, but, obviously we had recent, buys that took place, which is good to see. Okay. And then they basically just want everybody to stay safe, be aware of, any kind of scammers. Okay. And they got a lot of messages, here in regards, to their pin messages. So yeah. So for this one, just out of curiosity, we'll still go ahead and set, an under alert on this one. Not interested in setting it over, just based on where the candle is. So under, and this one right now is sitting at 165. So that's our posted market cap, and we'll go ahead and we'll set this one at. Let's set the retracement at 130. We'll see if it triggers. I don't know if it will, but we'll see. Okay, so give me a second, guys. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and check out Solana. We're going to see what we got going on over there, since we've really focused a lot on the ETH today. But let's take a look at Solana. And we're going to make some adjustments to our filters. We are not going to go that far out. We're just going to go ahead and go to, to start out, let's do 200. Okay. So there we go. And we're not going to go that far out. We're going to go to 50 hours. Okay. And we'll keep everything else the same. So what do we got? We got 38 tokens. That's a lot of tokens. So let's go ahead and let's adjust this to 100K. Okay, and yes, that looks a lot better. All right, so we're going to take a look here. Let's just go ahead and let's start opening some of them up. No, we're not doing that. Terminal of agents, baby fart coin, sure. Sucky Panther, yeah, we're not going to do that. AI Deb, no. Max. I don't know what that is. 777. The Honest Guy, sure. Anything associated with the LA fires, I think, is right now definitely a current meta. All right, Prosperity Wealth. Okay, so let's take a look, real quick at these. See what we got going on. Okay, we're probably gonna have to make some adjustments, on this time frame area. Should have done that before I opened all those tabs. All right, and we do have a Telegram here. Okay, so this one, no Telegram. And here, we got a Telegram, but I really don't like the chart, what I'm seeing there. Okay, 15 minute. Yeah, I'm not really crazy about the chart, so we're not going to do this one. This one is really, really bottomed out and not a lot going on the 5 minute or the 1 hour, so we're going to close it out. And here, we're just in the negatives, here all the way through here, but okay, that's good. We do have a Telegram, we'll keep it. All right, so nothing going on here in the 5 minutes, so that's a no. Here, big candle on 777, but we get no Telegram, so we're closing that one out. Here, we got nothing going on really, in the 5 minute or the 1 hour. Okay, so let me see. Let's go out a little bit further. I mean, my guess is that there's going to be continued retracement on this one, but I think we'll keep it open for now. This one, we get a Telegram. We're kind of bottomed out here, but I don't know. It might head back up. I don't know. We'll keep it open. This one, Strawberry Bot. This one too looks like it's kind of bottomed, but we'll keep it open. And this one, we get a Telegram, and we got minuses across here. But hey, I'll tell you what. We've got 6 here. We're going to go ahead and take a look at them, and we'll be able to make some quick assessments as to whether they're really worth our time. So let's go into the channels. Let's see what's going on. This is Trump language model. Remember what I said a couple of days ago? The language model, seems to be a current meta. So that's part of the reason why I'm interested in this one. So let's see what they got going on. So yeah, the only thing I see right away is that you can't say anything on the channel, which I don't like. You guys know I don't really care for that. But we are continuing to get buy pressure here. So let's see, are they, okay, this is a new buyer. This one's just increasing the position, increasing position. We want to see evidence of new holders. Okay, so there's another new holder, increasing position. Okay, all right, so I'll tell you what. Even though this one's closed in terms of the chat, we got a VC, small VC, but it's still a VC. We got some pin messages, okay? All right, so it's good to see that we got some pin messages. There's obviously no evidence of rating because the chat's closed. We're still getting messages coming in here. Maybe they closed the chat because of the VC. I don't know. It would be nice if they went ahead and they said something in the pin message, so that from an optics, from a place of optics, it doesn't look like, it's just a closed, closed channel. So yeah, so we'll definitely go and keep an eye on this one. I mean, we just saw this at like 47, now it's at 55, so let's go ahead and let's go back out here. And we can see, that there is, some movement on this one. So yeah, we'll definitely set some alerts, so this is saying 55K, this is saying 48. Okay, so we're going to go with tab. All right, so goes, we're going to set 2 of them on this one. And we'll set the posted market cap at 48K. And going over, let's go and let's set this at 65K. All right, so there we go. And for the under, let's see, let's set this at, I don't know, we'll set it at 35K. All right, so this is super micro cap, as far as this one's concerned. And even though they're getting buys, but they're still seeing some sell pressure, so this one is kind of a dangerous one just because there's just as much buy pressure as there is sell pressure. You really can't see more sell pressure than buy pressure, but it's pretty even. And you can see that, you don't have big numbers, here, this area here. Okay. But, I think there's maybe a bit more sell pressure than buy pressure, but either way, it's not terrible. And like I said, we went to the channel. You can see that there's still a lot, of activity in there and in the VC. So I don't know. I think this one would be interesting to watch. Here, baby fart, let's go and let's take a look at the Telegram, see what they got going on. This is CTO. We can see that right away. Looking for votes to go ahead and get major buy bot trending. Okay. Let me see here. We're looking for the last buy, 11:48. So is on my clock. So we can see, okay, that was the last buy was 3 minutes ago. Okay. So they're saying the team's, working, behind the scenes. Okay. And, okay, if you want to go and if anybody in the community wants to donate to a marketing wall, they can go ahead and do that. And this is the address, for that. Okay, so CoinGecko was submitted. All right, so not going to go ahead and join, the community, but we don't see any activity. There's been no activity, since we've been in this. All right, and so that would be a concern for me. And obviously not seeing anything in regards to trending, so, and the buy pressure is not, very good here in regards to this. Some of these CTOs are good, but some of them are really lackluster. This maybe one of those really lackluster CTOs. So not really interested in tracking this one, so I'm going to leave this one alone. All right, and this one, I think we're going to leave it on just because, I don't really like what I'm seeing here on the chart. Very little going on in the 5-minute or the 1 hour in regards to that one. Here we got retracement, or not retracement, but in the minuses across, all three of these time frames except for the 24-hour. Likely this one's not going to be worth the time either, just because there's really nothing going on. But we can go ahead and see what's going on in the channel just to confirm that. This one looks like a CTO as well. Okay, so all right, and so yeah, we have some rating going on, but I've mentioned before, rating's just not enough to go ahead and keep a token moving along, right? So last buy was 11.48, so that was just a minute ago. All right, so that's good to see, but I don't see, they're looking for votes, in regards to the buy bot. Okay, let's go back out here. Do they have any kind of boost going on in regards to this one? So nothing going on here, no boost, no ads. So I think this is going to continue to retrace, so we're going to leave this one alone as well. This one, nothing going on in terms of a boost or ads, no buy activity here in the 5 minutes. So this is a no. And this one here, okay, we got a boost, small one, the smallest one, smallest boost going. So, but we'll still take a look at the Telegram and see what they got going on in there. Looks like I thought I saw that maybe this was a CTO, but okay, maybe I didn't. So let's finish up this verification and then we'll head in there. All right, so not a big community, 62 members, only 6 of them are online. Last buy was, just a couple of minutes ago, which is good. Good to see that. Let me see here. All right, so we're getting some buys, but there's nothing in terms of engaging the community. No, there wasn't any rating, right? So I didn't see any raids. Yeah, no raids going on. I don't see anything going on as far as trending's concerned. Let me go back, to, okay, so they're also communicating what they've done in the last hour. And this was 9:45, so this is a couple hours ago. Set up a new channel. They set up a memes channel, set up a new verified X page, updated the Dex. They grew by 200 holders, which nobody really cares about this. At the end of the day, you want to see continued growth, in terms of community. They went from 66 to 200K and they boosted. Okay, so they're saying they're going to be doing more. So maybe we could watch this one just to go ahead and see, if there's any kind of growth for it. So we'll set up an alert. We're at 93K, so we're going to set 2 of them for this one. So 93K. All right, so for the over, let's go ahead and set this one up at 115. All right, and then for the under, let's go ahead and let's make this a 70K. All right, so the deviations aren't very large, for this one. Okay, so with that being said, I think I'm gonna leave it there. But again, just like I said in the start of the video, there have been many tokens that we've come across, where we've seen some pumps, anything from a 2x, to over 10x. And, that's simply using the Dexscreener platform, so every day, we're going to go ahead and jump in here, and there are going to be days where we find stuff that wins, and we're going to find stuff that, just doesn't do anything at all. It's kind of the ebbs and flows, crypto, and of, kind of filtering out the noise in terms of what we're trying to find, in terms of tokens, that may look like they've got some potential to grow. So thanks again, for continuing to watch, continuing to support, Investment Honey as a channel and Crimson's Calls as the Telegram channel. We thank you so much. And if you're not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. We've got a lot of people that do watch these videos, but, we don't have a lot of people, moving into the subscription arena. So, the benefits of subscribing obviously are any kind of broadcasts that are made to the community. You're the first one to know about it. And anytime new content is released to the channel, you're the first to know about it. A lot of these, videos, depending on where the alerts are being set, could be considered time sensitive, so the quicker you can go ahead and view the content, quicker you can go ahead and take action if you choose to in regards to anything discussed on the channel. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you again on the next video. You guys enjoy your day. Bye-bye.